Hi Year 9, this is a tutorial on how to draw the laminated cutting board project in Google Sketchup. Once you've selected Sketchup, you need to go to Sketchup, Preferences, and ensure that you're working in template woodworking millimeters. Once you've double clicked and that is selected, you can make sure that you've got your large tool palettes here. To do that, you go to View, Tool Palettes, and just check that the large tool set is selected. I find it's really easy for using all the tools that you're going to need when drawing in SketchUp, and then of course at the top you've got your general ones that you use all the time. So when we start drawing, we always start from the origin point. So today I'm going to start with a rectangle tool, and we can zoom in and make sure that we're in the origin point. If you can't find that origin point for some reason, it's pretty easy to do that. You just go to Camera, Standard Views, and always make sure that you're looking into isometric or drawing from that view, which is the best view. It's drawing in 3D with using all these axes. So from the origin point, we're going to click, drag out a rectangle of any size. I haven't clicked anything. I've just clicked once at the origin point, and then I'm dragging out a rectangle shape. And to make that the correct size, we have to know the dimensions of our cutting board, which is 400, 280. When you just type that and then click enter, it will make the size of your cutting board, okay, and that is the correct size there. We can then use our push and pull tool. See how when you go over the shaded area that you want to extrude, click and pull it up. And again, same thing, don't touch anything, just type in 19 and enter. And if we get our measuring tool, we can see that that is 19 mil, which is correct. Now, in SketchUp, we're going to use a special tool called the Follow Me tool to create the edge treatment that goes around our cutting board. And we're going to do that first. So we're going to get our pencil tool. We can just zoom into the area that we want. Now, if you want, you can measure this out. So, you know, we can get our measuring tape tool here, and we can measure in, let's say, 10 mil, and down 10 mil. And it should create a little point, which it hasn't. Try that again. Okay, there it is. Sometimes you have to do things twice. 10, make sure you're on the line. Okay, so you see how it's got those little points. We can now connect that up with our pencil. And this here is a chamfer shape. So we're actually going to put this all the way around our our cutting board. So once we've got that done, we're going to select the select tool, select the top face, and then come over here and select the Follow Me tool. And we click that into that little shape that we want, and as you can see, all the way around your cutting board is that chamfer shape, which is what we want. So after that, we can start putting in the pieces that make up the laminated cutting board. So there's 4 70 mil pieces that make up our board. So we can now again use our measurement tool to help us find that. So we get the measuring tool here, measuring tape. Make sure that you're on the side that is 280 long, because our pieces are going down the 400 mil length. So we get the origin point again, and we're going to draw across 70. So click on the origin point, drag it along, and just type in 70, enter. And what it should do is make a little, what we call a guide point there. We can do the same again from that guide point, measure along, and just type in 70, enter. Okay, and it's made another one just there. So we can zoom in and out to help us see where we're drawing. Select it again, 70, enter. And we don't need the last one because that should be exactly 70. So the next thing we're going to do is get our pencil tool, and we're going to draw lines up. Make sure these lines are straight. It should say on edge when you do that. Again, after that, we're going to try and draw these lines up onto the angle and then onto the top face of the board. So to do that, we need to try and zoom in so we can see what we're doing. Get our pencil tool and see how it's got a different color there? That should tell us that the line is going to be straight. So once I've selected on edge and it's got a different color, I can click and just check that that looks right. Yep, it's nice and straight. And just do that for the other two guide points and lines that you've drawn there. Okay, now we can take those lines straight over to the other side, and it should be the same principle. The pencil line should go a certain color to help us know that we've drawn that line straight. Okay, so see how it's red? See, if it's not red, it's black, and it doesn't look straight either. So that's what we want. Beautiful. So we've got 4 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, each 70 mil wide by 400 long. So our cutting board is really taking shape here. Do the same thing on the other side. I'm just going to see if that looks right. It might be easier to do it from the bottom. No, that's right. Okay, keep going. There's different ways of doing things, obviously, whatever you find is easiest for you. Okay, I'm not happy with how that's looking, so I'm going to go back to using my rectangle tool. Oh, sorry, my measuring tape, just to make sure that it's right. So 70 should be a guide point there. Keep going along. 70 and 1 more. Pencil tool and connect it up. Okay, so if we go around, we can see that that's looking correct. So now we can actually draw in our handle. And again, this measuring tape is a really important tool with any drawings that we'll give you, and in class, in our practical lessons, we're going to show you where to place certain things through measurement. So for today, we can actually measure that from the edge. Okay, so we're going to go in 40 mil. And half of 70 is 35. Okay, now we've got that point there, we can get our circle tool and draw a circle that has a 10 mil radius, and that is our handle. Okay, we can get our extrusion tool. Pull that all the way through. You don't want it going all the way, but if you go to on edge, when you go and have a look at it, it has gone all the way through, which is what we want. So now we can actually colour our pieces in. When you go to the paint bucket, you can choose different textures and colours. We're going to go to the brick. Make sure you've selected wood. There's different finishes here. A lot of these are actually manufactured boards or engineered timber that's not real. So the one that does look the closest to actual pine to me is this one here with the knots in it. So I'm going to go that one and just colour each piece and do that all the way around your project to all the different parts. And once you've done that, your isometric drawing in Sketchup is complete. The next video will show you how to screenshot that and put it into layout to create a proper isometric drawing for your portfolio.